Hey, it's me, Shane. So my last video was me counting down my favorite movies that came out last year. So this video is going to kind of be a follow-up where I am going to list what movies I am most anticipating this year. I think 2026 has a good slate of releases coming out. When I did my video last year of my most anticipated for 2025, a lot of those ended up being on my top 10 of the year overall. So hopefully I can do that again and pick some good movies, and hopefully it'll turn out well. These aren't in any particular order. It's not ranked or anything. These are just a handful of movies that I think look interesting, and like these are the ones that I'm definitely going to be seeing in the theater as soon as they come out. All right, so let's start off with Supergirl. This is the follow-up to Superman, which was directed by James Gunn, which I loved. I thought it was a great version of Superman, and I can't wait to see more from this universe. And yeah, this is what's coming next. It's directed by Craig Giuseppe, and of course stars Millie Alcock, reprising her role from the end of Superman. Crypto is coming back from Superman. Jason Momoa is going to be this as Lobo. He's switching from Aquaman to Lobo since this is a new universe, and he looks like he fits that part a lot better. This is based on the acclaimed graphic novel Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And I've read a little bit of that. I'm like maybe a third into it, and it's pretty good so far. From the trailers, this is giving like vibes of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. So I hope it keeps up the vibes of the trailers. I'm just excited to see more of this new DC universe. And sticking with that, we have James Watkins' Clayface. This stars Tom Rhys-Harris and is, of course, about the Batman villain. This is supposed to be a horror movie, apparently taking a lot of inspiration from The Substance, about an actor who takes a drug or something to enhance his ability to, shapeshift into other people, but it has devastating side effects. I think Clayface is a Batman villain that has always had his missed opportunity to be on the big screen, and I can't, especially a horror like version of it, taking inspiration from The Substance sounds really interesting for me. What I'm excited about for this new DC universe is the fact that they're not afraid to go into completely different directions for all their movies. Like this seems like it's going to be very tonally different from Superman. And I find that interesting that they can all be so different and yet be in the same universe. Next up, Godzilla Minus Zero. Godzilla Minus One was one of my favorite movies of 2023, I believe it was when it came out. And I've been eagerly awaiting the sequel, and it's finally coming out, I think summer 2026, maybe fall. But yeah, I love Minus One. Can't wait to see what's next. I hope maybe like another classic monster gets introduced from like the Toho era. Maybe King Ghidorah, maybe Mothra, maybe Anguirus, maybe someone we haven't seen in a long time. Maybe a completely new monster, who knows? Either way, I love Godzilla, and I'm excited to see this version come back. Then David Fincher's The Adventures of Cliff Booth. This is a spin-off to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is my personal favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. And it's basically following Brad Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, basically just as he has adventures in Hollywood, but this time he's the main character instead of Leo. So Tarantino is writing and David Fincher is directing, so that combo is going to be interesting to see. It's a bit weird that Tarantino isn't directing, but I guess he wants his 10th film to be more special. But still, I'm looking forward to it. I love Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would love to see more of that universe. And I think it'll be a really great movie. How to Make a Killing, directed by John Patton Ford. This is starring Glenn Powell and Margaret Qualley. The trailer for this is already out. Basically about a dude who, in order to get his inheritance from his rich family, he has to take them all out. The trailer looks really funny and just like a good time at the movies. I don't know if it's going to win any awards or anything, but I like Margaret Qualley. I like Glenn Powell a lot, and the premise sounds like just a good time at the movies, and that's really all you're looking for sometimes. Then I have Digger, which is directed by Alejandro Inarritu. Of course, he's the director of Birdman and The Revenant. Not really a lot is known about this. The teaser trailer is out, but that doesn't really give you a clue of what this is about. But of course, Tom Cruise is starring in it, and alongside him, Sandra Hüller, John Goodman, Jesse Plemons, Riz Ahmed, Michael Stuhlbarg. Just a lot more. I first I only had this on here because of Tom Cruise and Naruto, but the rest of the cast sounds pretty stacked too. So this is very intriguing to me. I'm thinking this is going to be Tom Cruise's push for that Oscar he's always wanted. It's going to be interesting to see him diving into a role that's not Mission Impossible or Jack Reacher, like not an action movie. At least I don't think it's an action movie. I think it's going to be something totally different. And when he wants to be, Tom Cruise is a great actor. So yeah, this is definitely on my radar. Disclosure Day, the new movie from Steven Spielberg. The trailer for this is out already as well. I gotta say, the trailer did not inspire much confidence in me. I thought some of the CG in it looked a little weird. Just the whole vibes from the trailer just did not look that interesting. But I'm going to trust it because it's Steven Spielberg making a Alien movie again after all these years. Has Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor. Josh O'Connor's on a roll right now. He's becoming slowly one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. So yeah, even though I was a little bit iffy on that trailer, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I think it'll surprise me. I love Steven Spielberg. I'm always going to give him a shot. He's obviously earned it at this point. Next up, Werewolf by Robert Eggers. Nosferatu, The Witch, The Lighthouse. This is his latest period piece horror movie. And if I had to pick a movie I'm probably most anticipating, it would either be this or one I'm talking about later. But I love Robert Eggers' style. I love Nosferatu and The Lighthouse especially. It says Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe all returning from Nosferatu. Ralph Ineson, who was in The Witch. He is just probably the best director in horror right now. And not only that, I love werewolf stories. The Wolfman was one of my most anticipated for last year. That was a disappointment, but I don't think Robert Eggers is going to let me down. At least I hope not. But yeah, that cast, one of my favorite directors right now, one of my favorite monsters. This just sounds like match made in heaven for me, and I hope it lives up. And we have 2 Marvel movies coming out next year. Yes, Marvel has been struggling lately. I'm always going to check out Marvel movie, at least as soon as this, we'll see where this phase goes, how they stick the landing on it. But as of right now, I'm always going to see it. I like the Marvel characters, even if it's definitely gone downhill in quality writing wise. Though I like Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, especially last year. Obviously, Marvel has lost its cultural foothold, but maybe they can bring it back this year with their movies. We'll see. First, that one that I'm talking about is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he is the best Spider-Man, at least in my opinion. I know people have nostalgia for both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, but to me, I think the best live-action interpretation Spider-Man, at least, Tom Holland is closest to my vision of what that is. And at least from the reports, it seems like this is going to be more of a street-level focused story, getting away from the multiversal aspect. It's kind of going to be, I think, about like maybe gang warfare in New York. I think this is connected to the events of what's going to happen in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. But we have a bunch of people joining the franchise. Sadie Sink, who I think is the best actor, period, from Stranger Things. Liza Colon-Zayas from The Bear. She's fantastic in The Bear. John Bernthal is coming back as the Punisher. Seeing him interact with Spider-Man, I think, is going to be sick. Those characters have always been linked. Obviously, Zendaya and Jacob Batalon coming back as MJ and Ned. Mark Ruffalo is also going to be in this. The Hulk. I hope getting back to more of the savage classic Hulk that we know of instead of Smart Hulk. And also Michael Mando coming back as Matt Gargan, aka Scorpion, who they teased in Homecoming like 10 years ago. So finally paying that off. Hopefully it actually leads somewhere. Marvin Jones III is also joining as Tombstone, who's another Spider-Man villain. So hopefully it's not too much stuffed into one story. But it sounds like a lot of stuff that sounds exciting to me. So like I said, I know Marvel's not as good as it used to be. I'm still going to give it a chance. I'm still going to watch it. And then that leads me to, of course, probably the biggest movie of next year, at least the one with the most scrutiny and eyes on it, Avengers Doomsday. This, along with Avengers Secret Wars comes out next year, is going to be the finale to the multiverse saga. They're bringing in pretty much everyone that's ever been in a Marvel movie. I think it's pretty much coming back for these movies. The X-Men, I'm pretty sure it's an easy guess we're going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come back. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if we get like Ben Affleck as Daredevil, or, you know, like literally if you've ever been in a Marvel movie, I could see them bringing them back. Like I said, I just have to see it with my own eyes. I don't know if they're going to stick the landing. It's definitely, like people have said, dangling keys in front of a baby with all the nostalgia bait, but it's working on me. I don't know. From the trailers that have come out, I think the Captain America one was weird. I think it's way too early to bring back Chris Evans, but what are you going to do? The Thor one looked really good. I like the going back to serious Thor, cutting the hair short again. I think they definitely need to get back into that direction with the character, maybe make him the focus of the story. And then the third one with the X-Men, nostalgia bait, but it looks cool. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Professor X and Magneto, they're always going to get me. They are those characters at this point. And Cyclops looks cool, so there's that. And say what you want about the Russo brothers as filmmakers. With the Avengers movies, they know how to make it work. Infinity War, I think, is the best Marvel film. And that they also did Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Endgame. Those are like probably in the top 10 Marvel movies for sure. So I think it'll work out okay. I'm excited to see Doctor Doom finally. It's going to be a lot of characters being juggled, but we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. Then there's The Bride, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale. This is a Frankenstein movie focused on the bride's perspective. This was supposed to come out last year. I'm pretty sure I had it on my most anticipated for last year because it was, supposed to be 2 Frankenstein movies with this and Guillermo del Toro's. But this got delayed, I guess. But yeah, the trailer looks really good. I've been anticipating this ever since they released it because I love Frankenstein. This looks like a very different and out there interpretation. So we'll see how it compares to Del Toro's, but it's probably going to be more of its own thing. Jessie Buckley is a great actor. Obviously, Christian Bale is a legend. It looks really good, and I hope it lives up to the hype after being delayed. The Drama from A24, directed by Christopher Borgli. Robert Pattinson, who's maybe my favorite actor in Hollywood right now, and Zendaya, who's also great. They were playing a married couple who, I guess, from the trailer, it looks like something goes wrong. There's a lot of tension there. I don't know, the trailer looked really intriguing, and just this combination of actors and like subtle marketing they've been doing really makes me interested. I have no clue what it's really going to be about, and I think that's the best way sometimes to go into a movie. But yeah, mostly this is for the 2 leads. I think even with a decent script, they were going to put out a good performance and an entertaining movie. Dune Part 3, of course directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Timothée Chalamet, Florence Pugh, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Rebecca Ferguson, everyone basically coming back from Dune. This is going to finish off the trilogy, apparently. Who knows if there's going to be more after this? I know there's plenty of Dune books. I think Denis Villeneuve wants to do a trilogy. I love the Dune movies. Dune Part 2 was, I think, one of the best movies that's come out this decade. Hopefully they also stick the landing. I think they're going to have a lot of faith in them. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes because I've read some of the book, and I know this is where, I haven't read some of the book, but I've seen people talk about the book. And from what I understand, this is when things start getting really out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how it translates to the big screen. But I have faith in them and got to finish out what I think has been one of the best franchises, best cinema experiences in the past couple years. And finally, I think this is going to be a lot of people's most anticipated for the year. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Got to see this in IMAX. After Oppenheimer, obviously Christopher Nolan is a legend. After Oppenheimer, I couldn't wait to see what he's going to do next. And him taking on the story of The Odyssey is really interesting to me. I love the Greek aesthetic. A lot of people were complaining about the historical accuracy of the costumes and stuff. I'm going to be honest, I don't care. It's a movie about, this story has like a cyclops and sirens and, it's about gods. Who cares about historical accuracy in what's essentially a fairy tale? So yeah, and obviously this has one of the most stacked casts, a lot like Oppenheimer. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Benny Safdie, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, John Leguizamo, Mia Goth, just loaded with one of the best big screen directors probably ever. I don't know how you can't be excited for this. Like I said, I got to see this in IMAX on the biggest screen. I'm actually trying to kind of stay away from trailers just because I don't want to spoil too much for myself. But yeah, this can't come quick enough, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree. And that's going to do it for this video. Those are my most anticipated movies for 2026. Let me know down in the comments what your most anticipated film is going to be. Is there any ones that I missed that you're looking forward to? Let me know. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. I'm making movie-related content all the time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.